As a real estate agent here in Tucson, Arizona, I work with a lot of buyers from other states who love Tucson and the desert and the sunshine and the mountains, but they don't want to live in the city. Just like a lot of cities, Midtown and downtown tend to have a lot of people and a lot of congestion and sometimes a lot of traffic, and a lot of buyers would prefer to live near all the action, but not necessarily right in it. Fortunately, Tucson has some fantastic suburbs that still provide the dry heat and stunning mountain views. But each suburb is very different from the next. Which suburb is safest? Which one is least expensive? Which one is growing the fastest? This video answers all of your questions about Tucson suburbs. Hey everyone, it's Kimberly, your go-to real estate agent in Tucson, Arizona, and today we're talking about all of the suburbs surrounding Tucson, Arizona, and what each of them has to offer you. Throw down the name of your favorite Tucson suburb in the comment section below, and of course, when you are interested in purchasing or selling property in Tucson or any of the suburbs, please reach out to me. All my contact information is in the description below each video on this channel. There are over 1,000 other videos on this channel about things to do and see and know about Tucson, my hometown. So check those out after this one and subscribe to hang out with me in the future when I nerd out on all things that my hometown of Tucson has to offer. But before we explore the Tucson suburbs, what are the Tucson city limits? The city of Tucson itself has a population of somewhere around 500 to 600,000 people, but Tucson has close to 20 little towns or unincorporated communities nearby, and if you include all of those areas, Tucson's population is well over 1 million. Today I'll discuss the largest and most popular of those 20 littler areas. Let's start by talking about the Catalina Foothills, an unincorporated community located just north of the Tucson city limits. I think the best thing about the Catalina Foothills is that it really does appeal to pretty much all buyers. The views of the Santa Catalina Mountains to the north are just as spectacular as the views of the city to the south, and the foothills is great for shopping and restaurants and museums. And they have some great resorts and spas and golf courses and just pretty much something for everyone. The school district is one of the highest ranking in the state. There are a ton of hiking opportunities. The Chuck Huckleberry Loop runs straight across east-west, so you can easily get from one part of the Catalina Foothills to another just by riding a bike or even taking a nice stroll. The homes in the foothills are older, but they have a lot of character, and many of them have been completely redone, and most of them have very large lots, so you have plenty of space from your neighbors. The architecture is diverse in the Catalina Foothills, so buyers have a lot to choose from. There are houses and condos and townhomes for sale or rent, plus luxury apartments for rent, many of which are gated, which makes the Catalina Foothills a fantastic place to live for anyone who needs easy access to the city for work or University of Arizona, but who doesn't want to live in the city. Really, the worst thing about living in the Catalina Foothills is the price tag. Homes are expensive to buy or rent, but my Foothills clients will tell you it's worth every penny. Oro Valley is a suburb located 6 miles north of Tucson in Pima County. Oro Valley is also absolutely beautiful because you still get those Santa Catalina mountain views, but Oro Valley is just to the west of those mountains, as opposed to the Catalina Foothills, which is to the south of those same mountains. Oro Valley is a very nature-friendly town and an outdoor enthusiast-friendly town, and they have tons of opportunities for hiking and trails and bicycling and golfing, but they also have a very community feel with farmers markets, organized events during the holidays, things like that. I sell to families there, I sell to retirees there, I sell to snowbirds there, I sell to investors there. The suburb attracts all buyers. I love Oro Valley restaurants, and their roads are clean and very well maintained. They have tons of walking paths and wide bike lanes everywhere. The architecture is a little different from the Catalina Foothills area though. I find that the homes are closer together in Oro Valley and look similar to one another in neighborhoods, and there aren't as many condo or townhome options available here. There are also many more homeowners associations in Oro Valley, and this area is also pretty expensive to live in, but again, residents would tell you it's worth what you pay for. Catalina, not to be confused with Catalina Foothills, is a census-designated place in Pima County just north of Oro Valley. As Oro Valley gets more and more popular and more expensive, people who want to move to Oro Valley are are sometimes choosing to live in Catalina instead because it's more affordable and you still get those stunning Santa Catalina mountains, but Catalina has a rural vibe. Saddlebrooke and Oracle are in that same area, but those are in Pinal County as opposed to Pima County, where Tucson and most Tucson suburbs are found. Oracle is home to the Biosphere 2 experiment, and Saddlebrook is generally a retirement community. Just like most suburbs of Tucson, all these areas provide some beautiful mountains with all the hiking and mountain biking you could ever desire. But Catalina, Oracle, and Saddlebrook are much less expensive than the other suburbs already mentioned, but they are fairly remote, and if you do end up living there, you will do some driving to get to the city of Tucson. Let's change gears here and shift to the east part of the city. To the east of the Catalina foothills is Tanque Verde, which is a suburb just northeast of the Tucson city limits. This area is more off the beaten path than the Catalina foothills or Oro Valley, and a lot of the homes tend to be built in the 70s and 80s, and they can get pretty pricey, but you're more likely to have a larger lot for your property and no HOA if you live in a house in Tanque Verde, which means privacy and freedom. Not a ton of shopping or restaurant opportunities out there, but there are several very popular places everyone hangs out, and don't be surprised if the wait staff learns your name when you become one of their regulars. Tanque Verde has that kind of vibe. A lot of people own horses out there, and Tanque Verde is great for anyone who wants easy access to hiking and camping and even fishing opportunities on Mount Lemmon, but the fact that Sabino Canyon and Reddington Pass are nearby makes it great for anyone who wants to explore. You see, Tanque Verde is just to the south of the Santa Catalina Mountains, but it is also just to the west of the Rincon Mountains, and that means that you have hiking, camping, rock climbing, fishing, and mountain biking right at your fingertips. Vail is a census-designated place in Pima County, 24 miles southeast of Tucson. Vail is just exploding with new construction, and since it's at the base of the Rincon Mountains, the views are really pretty because you're right next to Saguaro National Park East. So again, you have some great hiking and mountain biking opportunities, but you also have the Sahuarita Mountains to the south, and they are stunning in their own right. Vail has one of the top-rated school districts in the state, so a lot of people move to the Vail School District just for the schools. And with those schools, you also get that very family-friendly community feel. A lot of these families are really involved in football or baseball or dance or swim teams or clubs, and there's a lot of Vail pride that you'll see down there. This area is popular for military, both active and retired, because it's not too far from Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson. This is one of those areas of town that doesn't have a ton of restaurants or shopping opportunities yet, but give it 5 or 10 years and I think Vail will be absolutely booming with amenities. Next, we move on to Sahuarita, which is a town just south of the Tohono O'odham Nation and 15 miles south of Tucson. The population is close to 50,000, but it's a small town with a small town vibe. Sahuarita provides a high quality life, good public schools, recreation options, especially being so close to the Santa Rita Mountains. The really important thing for my clients is that the housing is affordable here compared to many other areas in the city of Tucson and other suburbs. Still relatively new, most of the homes and amenities are less than 30 years old. Sahuarita offers tons of walking paths and bike trails and fun parks for kids of all ages. They're starting to put in more restaurants, and they even just put in a hospital there. So most people have what they need in Sahuarita, and if they can't find it there, it's just a 20-minute drive to downtown Tucson. I feel that this community is fairly walkable, especially depending on where you live. I feel that the roads and sidewalks are really well taken care of, and amenities are not very far away for most folks. This is a great place to live if you plan to work at the Tucson Airport or Raytheon, which is one of our top employers here in Tucson, or if you plan on working at the mines, all near Sahuarita. Green Valley is an unincorporated community just south of Sahuarita, and it is traditionally a retirement community with primarily 55-plus neighborhoods, although I have known some families who've lived there as well. In 2024, Realtor.com ranked Green Valley as the second best place in the nation to retire, due to its affordability, excellent weather, and tons of outdoor recreation. Green Valley, and Sahuarita actually, aren't far from the Santa Rita Mountains, which offer endless hiking trails trails, and Madera Canyon with some of the best bird watching opportunities in the world. And Green Valley is about an hour drive to Patagonia Lake, which is probably the most popular, largest lake for Tucsonans to hang out. So if you like fishing, camping, boating, and all the other things that you get at a lake, you might enjoy living in Green Valley. Green Valley also offers some exceptional golfing opportunities, and they have a fair amount of medical options and community events for sure. Marana is located northwest of Tucson, just along Interstate 10, and really boomed in size during the 1990s, and it's still growing strong. Back when I was a kid here in Tucson, Marana was primarily a farming community, but a lot of the land is now being developed for residential properties, including family-friendly communities, luxury high-end custom builds, resorts, golf courses, an outlet mall, plus the Tortolita Mountains are great for trails and mountain biking. Marana is just a really nice growing suburb with a mix of older but mostly newer architecture, ranging from small square footage to massive custom luxury options. One of the best things about living in Marana would be the easy access to Phoenix. It's only about an hour and 15 minutes to the Phoenix airport from Marana, which is nice for anyone who has family or friends or work in Phoenix who doesn't want to live in Phoenix. Even closer to Phoenix and northwest of Marana on Interstate 10 is Red Rock, an unincorporated area in south central Pinal County. It's still an incredibly small town with a very low population, but there's a ton of new construction going on up there, and the housing developments are really nice and probably the most affordable of all the Tucson suburbs. For now, there's very little in that area in the way of amenities, but as we all know with real estate, the residential homes come first, followed shortly by the businesses. Before I finish up this video, I'll throw in a bonus area that is not a true Tucson suburb, but actually an enclave of the bigger city of Tucson. South Tucson is its own small city with its own mayor, covering an area of approximately 1.2 square miles. Located just south of downtown Tucson, South Tucson maintains a strong cultural heritage, well known for its delicious restaurants, unique architecture, and colorful murals. Several hundred businesses call South Tucson their home. I hope you've learned a little bit about Tucson suburbs and communities outside of the Tucson city limits. Many places in or outside Tucson have that small town feel, but a short drive into the city will give you restaurants and shops and clinics and museums and parks and all those things that you look for in a bigger community. What's your favorite Tucson suburb and why? Let the world know in the comments section below. When you or a friend are ready to purchase or sell property in Tucson or any of the surrounding suburbs, I would love to help you out. All my contact information is in the description below each video on this YouTube channel. We have 1,000 videos on this channel about things to do and see and know about this city, my hometown. So please like and subscribe for more Tucson and real estate videos. I really appreciate you hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next Tucson video or when we go to buy or sell a home together.